Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of SIS Table Talk. I am so excited. This is your host, Monique. Listen, the chief connector, founder of Sisters Inspire Sisters, also Embrace Your Cake LLC, where we focus on confidence, attitude, kindness, and excellence. We have a dynamic show for you this evening. We have one of our sister network members, and not only that, one of our 50 phenomenal women contributing writers and speakers, the phenomenal LaShea Stevenson. And LaShea, I'm so happy to have you on board. I want to thank you for being on the broadcast. Thank you for being a part of the book and a part of the network and everything that you do to pour into women. Um, let's get right into our topic tonight because I'm pretty sure when our viewers hear from you, they're going to also see what an amazing person that you are. But we're talking about faith. We're talking about endurance. So can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Hi, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Hello to everyone out there. I am honored to have chosen to be one of the 50 phenomenal. Um, Life is truly a journey. Say that. Mother, I'm tired, uh, not by choice, but for health reasons. And right now I work part time and with three. I'm extremely busy all the time. But my story has been tumultuous. I've lost people that I loved, including my husband and my father, 3 weeks ago. I thought that would tear me down. Um, I really thought it was over for me. It was a struggle to keep going when you lose two very in your lives, and um, men that show you what it really means to be loved, no matter what. And that's what they gave. And few years later, getting to show you all about it in the book, but spending months in hospital, um, for 5 times after, and then having to come back from all step by step, brick by brick, able to actually get back to where I am, able to, able to talk to you, able to hear you, and smile, and look so thankful that I made when many days I didn't. When many of those days I went to bed, you know what? I've lived enough and I'm on borrowed time because you gave me some more. So if I go and don't wake up in the morning, I'm good for that. Um, it's not a very good place to be. Not never would I hurt myself and take myself out of here, but being tired, so tired that you don't even recognize yourself anymore. So the first thing that I would say to anybody, what I stand as first do, uh, that able to call about the with the only why our glory depends on how well it has taken over a race
Wow.
all types of racism, mom just trying to break the glass going back or working with kind of work to smile. Um, it takes a lot. I will say, make when you're it
So
doesn't
LaShea,
matter.
I just want to jump in for a minute because we have some of the I just got a text and I can the mic is going in and out a little bit. I don't know if you can adjust the mic.
Okay, I turned it up. Is that better?
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Yes. So I just want to go back to, and I'll definitely want to schedule this call again because I think it's important for our viewers to get the get
Of course.
everything. I don't want them to miss anything, but I'm just trying to figure out how is it that you make it from day to day. It's a lot. What is it? What do you lean on? Like, what's the faith? And what can you tell other women that have gone through some maybe similar things, how they can continue to press on?
I would say that it's because of women like you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Other women in my life, men, friends, the people closest to me. Um, I spend every day using these things: love, encouragement, inspiration, motivation, and support. And
Mhm.
love always wins. And when you freely give those things out, it comes back full circle whenever you need it. We never know when we're going to be in a position to where everything that we give, we need to receive that back so that we can keep pushing forward. I'm
Absolutely.
fortunate to just for the fact that the people that I have poured into have poured back into me. Women like you that have been through tumultuous times in their lives reach back to other women to tell them, sis, you can make it, brother, you can make it, and bring them along with you. So
Mhm.
it's not a one person thing or like a me thing.
Mhm.
It's a us thing. Your faith surrounded with the faith of others that support you, your prayers, the prayers of others that support you. Those things are so important. And I protect my peace. I don't feel like that everything that you go through warrants a response.
Mhm.
So a lot of times if I'm tested or especially by people, um, I just let go and let God. I don't respond. I don't waste my energy. I just feel like protecting my peace is more important because I'm focusing on don't give up.
Right.
Every day I have to look at myself in the mirror, and everybody should look at themselves in the mirror and know that they are enough. And if you have willpower and you have love and some faith to put behind it, just a little bit, a mustard seed worth, you
Yeah.
can make it through anything. And it doesn't matter whether a woman or a man leaves you or you can't depend on your family. If you're standing on God alone, you are enough. Everything else around you, friends, family, followers, all that jazz, that just enhances the light that you already have shining on you. You're enough all by yourself.
Yes. So you are, and I want to back up a little bit, but first of all, let me just tell you that I look up to you. First of all, we connected and you were on one of the calls. And then I'm like, is this my sister LaShea on TikTok? So I just want you to know that motivates me. And for those that are out there not even understanding or knowing what's going on behind the scenes or what the behind story is, but you get on there and you pour into others. You also motivate us. You empower us. Um, you talked about that strength being poured into and pouring back into. Can you just go back? Because at the beginning of the call, we had a little trouble with audio, but just give us another overview of your story and what you talk about in your chapter.
Well, in my chapter, it's about my past, dealing with coming from molestation inside my own family. Um, Family members that never said I'm sorry, that never asked for forgiveness, but every time they see you, They smile at you. They want to hug you. They act like it's the best thing in the world when they see you, not knowing what they did to you caused you damage that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. And when you get to be my age, um, when I was younger and a little bit more loose with my mouth, I probably would have said more. But now, to keep from wrecking everybody's family, because now there are children involved and there
Yes.
are grandchildren involved, I take it to God and I leave it there. And
Mhm.
I watch how I deal with those people. Um, Being a single parent, I talk about that in the chapter. I started at 14. My oldest now is 35, and the parenting never stops. It's like it's never over. You always have to be there. If you decide to have that child until you take your dying breath, you're responsible for that child. It does not stop when they're 18 and grown.
Amen.
Gone. They need you until you can't be there anymore. You chose that responsibility. So
Mhm.
live the decision and do what you're supposed to do as a mother or as a father. And then being sick, um, it was hard for me to give up my career and go to disability.
Mhm.
Trying to figure out, wow, what do you do now with this little bit of money every month when you hold degrees and you can make $100,000 a year?
Mhm.
Um, Trying to figure out. So at 47, you have to learn to read again, write again, walk again. You can't feed yourself, can't take yourself to the bathroom. How do you do this now at this age? The stuff that toddlers learn.
Mhm.
um, it was a lot. I withdrew from everything and everybody. Um, Sometimes God will get you by yourself. So what happened was my faith. Instead of allowing me to lay in the bed and die, my faith made me get up and live every day. I pushed a little bit more. I cried, I screamed, I cursed in between coming home from the hospital and getting to here. My children were like, "Oh, they must have gave you somebody else's blood. We need to tell them we want our mom back because I don't curse." But when I came home, I was cursing. I started
Mhm.
bleeding for a little while. I was a totally different person. It took time for me to get back to my me because I didn't even recognize me anymore. I needed to regroup, and it took time. Um, I hated the wheelchair. I hated the walker. I wanted to do things. I wanted to run with my grandchildren, and I felt so incapacitated. Um, Being 47 in a nursing home was one of the most horrific experiences in my life. Not only not being able to move and somebody having to put me on a bedpan, or I couldn't go to the bathroom unless they hiked up one of my legs like a
Mhm.
dog at a fire hydrant. Um, it was totally degrading. But what was worse for me, because I have a heart for children and the elderly, was seeing older people wet, crying out at night, not being able to see their family because this was during COVID time. You had
Right.
to visit and talk to people through a window. So there was no way for your family to come in and check to make sure you were all right and you were being taken care of. And I just saw so many elderly people, the ones who spend their lives taking care of us, making sure we're all right, not
Yes.
given the same treatment. And I'm looking at it because I never saw it from that side. But with
Mhm.
you in there and you see it, you're like, okay, something's going on in the healthcare profession. Something
Mhm.
done better. Some standards need to be set or reevaluated. These people have lived an entire life and now still having to suffer because somebody won't do what they're supposed to do. And that's part of my don't give up topic because all I could think was, I gotta fight. I gotta get out of here because they're not going to take care of me. I have to get back to my children and the people that I know will come make my bed, that will change when I have an accident and not leave me laying in stool. I got to get out of this place. So you just fight every day. You fight, you fight, you fight, and you don't give up. And you move brick by brick until you get to where you need to be.
Wow. And I just want to thank you for being so transparent and for sharing, because that's another thing that we talked about. And I can understand, I've had family members that have been in those facilities. And when I tell you that I, day and night, one particular family member that was in during COVID, and it was difficult, like you said, and even the call, so they would let us FaceTime. But as a caregiver, I didn't feel that they were getting the care that they were supposed to get. And it's like you're helpless, on both ends. But,
Right.
so and this just, as you were talking, I thought about something else that we're going to talk about offline at another time. But um, when you said brick by brick, what did that look like and feel like for you when you were able to come out of those doors and go home? And I know it was a transition when you got home, but was there a sense of accomplishment for you?
There was. All I could do was just thank God. Thank God that I was home. And I was home. I couldn't make up my bed. I still couldn't walk and get to the I couldn't cook. I couldn't do a lot of the things that I can do now. But it was like, hey, you took a step.
Yes.
God carried you a little bit further. So now take another step and see where that leads you. So it was like that thing, like that victory just telling me, okay, you take a step, gotta make two. You take another step, gotta make two. And it was brick by brick. Like it took until this year for me to learn to walk again. And I got sick in 20, all the therapy and the aggravation and getting up to just try to get in a car to go to a doctor's appointment and falling in the yard in the driveway, and my son having to pick me up and put me in a car because he's like, Mama, you got to help me. And I'm trying, and in your mind, telling your legs to work, but you're not getting action. They won't do anything. Um, and I'm telling you, it's so defeating that if
Mhm.
you're strong mentally and you don't have a good support system, you break. And I
Yeah.
just, I thank God for people like you. I thank God for all the people on my TikTok, all the people on my Twitter, my Facebook, my family that came and washed my clothes, changed my behind, made my bed, um, that I couldn't do for myself, cook my meal, did my groceries, pick me up every time. Um, I remember falling in the house, and I wasn't even taking but 3 steps trying to get to my little portable bathroom in my bedroom, and I fell. At the time, I didn't have my phone in my hand. I'm older, so I don't have my phone attached to me like
Mhm.
youngsters do. And it's
Yes.
bed, so I'm laying in the floor, and I'm like, okay, I can't get up out the floor because my legs weren't working. So here I am thinking, okay, so what do we do now? And I just remember just beating on my bed with my until my phone finally fell off. And my daughter, I got her on the phone. I was like, I'm in the floor and I can't get up. I need you to come get me. And she was like, Mom, I'm 45 minutes away. She said, and it's going to take me a little bit. I ended up laying there for like 3 hours before she could get to me. And I can't even, we don't have the time for me to even go into the things that in my head. Um, just laying in that floor helpless. Thinking, God, what if somebody broke into my house? What if this house caught on fire right now? I don't even have the ability to save myself.
Right.
I'm broken. So uh, I refused to stay in that broken state. I had to move, girl. I had to get up. And that's what I did. I just got up.
Wow. Wow. I want to thank you for sharing. You are an absolute every time I talk to you, I get emotional, but an absolute blessing to me in so many different ways. And even while you were speaking, I was thinking about something. I thought about it the first time we spoke. And then I thought about it, I thought about it again. And now this was just confirmation for me for something else that needs to be done and something that I'm going to reach out to you about, and that I think that we need to work on, something that we can work on together.
Okay.
I just want to tell you that I absolutely love you to pieces. You are the epitome of, when we say 50 phenomenal women that we have in the book, you are the epitome of a phenomenal woman. And I'm so glad that you are sharing your story so other women can hear, and so other women can learn, and so other women can be empowered and understand that if you went through what you went through, and if you're going through what you've gone through at your age, and LaShea, I'm going to tell you, I'm older than you, and you are still here with the faith that you have, that they can too. So, once again, thank you so much for being on the broadcast. Listen, everyone, stay tuned. This was just part 1, and we'll be coming back with part 2. LaShea,
Absolutely. I love you,
yes,
Monique. Thank
yes. Thank you. And we'll talk soon.
Okay. Take
All
care.
right. Good night, everyone.